We're going to start with just a system of equations. X plus 2y minus 3z equals 4. 2x plus y plus z equals 9. And 4x minus y plus z equals 11. And we will write an augmented matrix. So an augmented matrix is just the matrix of coefficients augmented or added to with the constants. So this will be 1, 2, negative 3, 4, 2, 1, 1, 9, 4, negative 1, 1, and 11. So our goal is to get a matrix that has the identity matrix and then values for x, y, and z. And we're going to get these ones and zeros in a particular order. So we're going to get this first, and then we're going to get the 2 zeros underneath it next. Then we're going to get the 1. That'll be our fourth step. And then we'll get the zeros in that column. And then we'll get this one, which is step 7, and then 8 and 9. All right, so I'm going to rewrite this on the next page, and I'll show you what we're going to do. So what we want to do is first get the number 1, which in this first column, which we already have. So what we usually do is we're going to use that 1. I want to get this to be a 0. So I'm going to multiply this top row, row 1. I'm going to multiply it by negative 2. That's going to give me negative 2, negative 4, 6, and negative 8. And I'm going to add this to this second row. So I'm not going to change my first row. And I'm going to add this red row to this second row, and that's going to give me 0, negative 3, 7, and 1. And then I'm actually going to do the same thing. I'm going to multiply row 1 by negative 4. So that's going to allow me to get rid of that 4. So I'm going to get negative 4, negative 8, 12, and negative 16. And I'm going to add that row here. So that's going to give me negative 4 plus 4 is 0. We've got negative 9, 13, and negative 5. So you'll notice I'm now done with this first column. And my next step would be to get this negative 3 to be a 1. So I'm going to multiply this row by negative 1/3. So I'm not going to change my first row. This is going to give me 1, negative 7/3, negative 1/3, and I'm not going to change my last row either. Now we're going to do the same thing that we did above. I'm going to use this 1. I'm going to multiply this row, so row 2. I'm going to multiply it by negative 2. And my hope there is to get rid of this 2. So row 2 multiplied by a negative 2 is going to give me 0, negative 2, 14/3, and 2/3. And I'm going to add that to this top row. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to multiply this by 9. So we're going to get row 2 times 9. And that's going to give me 0, 9, 63/3, which is 21. Well, actually negative 21. And then multiplying by 9, we'd get -3. So on the next slide, I will write the new matrix, adding the red row to the top and the blue row to the bottom. Okay, so we added that red row to the top and got 1, 0, 5/3, and 14/3, and the blue row to the bottom, we got 0, 0, -8, and -8. So my next order of business is to make this into a 1, so I'm going to multiply this row by -1/8, and I'll get my new matrix, 1, 0, 5/3, 14/3, 0, 1, -7/3, -1/3, 0, 0, 1, 1. And again, we're going to use this one, this row, and we're going to multiply. First, we're going to multiply row 3 by -5/3, because I know when I add that row out, that will go to 0. So we'll get 0, 0, -5/3, and -5/3. And we will also multiply row 3 by +7/3 and get 0, 0, 7/3, 7/3, and we will add these to their respective rows to get a new matrix. So our 0, 0, 1, 1 is going to stay the same. We're going to add this red row to the top, so we'll get 1, 0, 0, -5/3 plus 5/3, and 14/3 minus 5/3 is 9/3, or 3. And then when we add the blue row to the middle row, we'll get 0, 1, 0, and 7/3 minus 1/3 is 6/3, or 2. So you can see now that we have what we wanted on the left, and we end up with x equals 3, y equals 2, and z equals 1. This should help you with that homework problem, but just as a side note, let's look how we would do it in the calculator. So what we're going to do on the calculator is we're going to hit our second function key, and then we're going to go 4 keys down to the key that says x to the -1, because above that it's going to say matrix. So you're going to get into the matrix menu, and you're going to tab over to where it says edit. And you have a list of matrices. We are going to edit matrix A, so just hit enter on matrix A. And because our augmented matrix had 3 rows and 4 columns, we want to tell the calculator it's going to be a 3 by 4. And then we are going to fill in our augmented matrix with our values. Once you've done that, you're going to hit second function and then quit, which is the key just to the right. It actually says mode, and above it, it says quit. So now you're sitting at a basic screen again, and now you want to do something with that matrix. So now you're going to hit second function, the key that says matrix at the top. You're then going to tab over this time to where it says math, because you're going to actually perform some math with this. So once you go over to math, you're going to scroll down. On my calculator, it's B, and it's going to say RREF. So you're going to go all the way down to B where it says RREF and hit enter. That's going to look like this on your screen now. And then you're going to hit second, and then that key that says matrix again. and then just choose matrix A. And then hit enter. And what you will get is what's called the reduced row echelon form. And if you've done that with this particular example that we just did, it will look like this. And your answer is here: x equals 3, y equals 2, z equals 1.